I'm
Rawr.
angry about tech.
When did we all get this dumb? Almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear warfare. I don't see any bodies, so it doesn't count.
I'm angry about tech.
I'm the chef. I want to hear one thing. Yes, chef. Come on, man. Use your brain. The Why I'm Angry podcast starts now. It started now. It's the Why I'm Angry podcast here in the Freestyle Man Cave studio. We are still podcasting. We back fresh from vacation. As fresh as you can be, because it seems like after you have vacation, you need like a week and a half to catch up, and just like even become back into society. It's almost like going to prison. You come back out, you're like, okay, it's probably not quite like going to prison, but you understand what I'm saying here. Make sure that you're getting on our merch store, buying that merch, getting everything set up for us, so that we can continue to bring you all the crazy content that we bring you in educated and ethical ways. I got the illustrious Jay Boots with us.
Howdy, folks.
Jay Boots is, still trying to launch that digital drum career, and is, parted ways with his manager and is now going full-time managerless.
Yes, that's true.
It's true. So, big news in the news today, this week, things of that nature. Julian Assange has pleaded guilty today.
I saw that.
I guess it was yesterday. I did see the articles come through that he was free. What's great is it's just that he's free. I like how the CNN news media, CNN information media. It's not even really news. It's like whatever information that they want to give you. It may not be good information. We can call it information. But yeah, so I think, yeah, they can't. They're pretty much spinning it that he was freed. He's finally free of the U.S. oppression. I think that's how they're spinning it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Sounds good.
He pled guilty to conspiring to obtain and disclose U.S. defense information. This pleading guilty ended over a decade of fighting for extradition. He spent, 7 or 8 years in a London or a UK embassy. Ecuador's London embassy. So he was in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. That's why that was confusing. 7 years there before being arrested in 2019. At one point, he faced an 18-count indictment in the U.S. up to 175 years in prison. In April, the U.S. provided assurances that Assange could seek First Amendment protection and that no death penalty would be imposed.
Huh.
So, man who is not a U.S. citizen seeks information about the U.S. military and is going to disclose this information, or has disclosed a lot of this information, because he also got the information about Hillary Clinton's campaign emails. Somehow he found some of those 30,000 emails that were lost, but
Interesting.
the U.S. government, our clandestine in organizations, somehow can't do that.
Right.
Right.
But one guy could.
But one dude that has never stepped foot in the U.S. or hasn't stepped foot in the U.S. in obviously multiple years, or maybe he has. We don't know. You know, the southern border is open. Maybe he's come in and he's hung out and he's gone. He's gone to Vegas or something, and maybe he's
Yeah.
gone to the Grand Canyon. Maybe he's done all this stuff. I'd
Huh.
applaud
Maybe
him if
it's
he
a
had.
really good firewall.
That firewall is as thin as the U.S. southern border. Um, so I guess what it gets to me is he was set up for 175 years in prison. The First Amendment only protects your right to free speech. It does not protect your right to break through clandestine walls or firewalls or to share top secret or classified or any kind of information that we deem necessary to be hidden for lives to be protected and military policies to be upheld. So, what else does he know?
Right. I think he knows a lot more than what we know.
So, yeah, I mean, it feels like this is a long end to a hostage negotiation where we were the ones that got punched in the balls. Like, not that I think that some of what he didn't probably help us out a little bit, didn't probably like show a little bit of transparency about what's going on in the military, and also the Harvey Weinstein stuff, and obviously the Clinton Foundation stuff.
Type things.
So not that I think that he's 100% bad, but in all honesty, Robin Hood was a thief. Robin Hood, you know, probably met the end at the gallows. So why does this guy not get to be murdered?
Hmm. Or is he just another tool?
And I was sitting there. I was sitting at my sink today doing some dishes, thinking, and this is just off the top of my head. In the 60s, early 70s, they started to tighten down schools and teach certain things in school to you can see the changes in what they started teaching. They started to indoctrinate kids, and they started
Yeah.
to teach kids a way of living. Like it became law that you had to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
That you had to go to school from, I know it's not 9 to 5, but they started teaching you that a 9 to 5 system was what you were going to live. So from Monday through Friday, you went from 7 to 3 or 7 to 2 or whatever helped take a little bit of the stress off of the traffic situation in large towns. Also left kids unattended for survival of the fittest even more.
Right.
um, Things of that nature. But because we were starting, is it because that's just how the system grew up and everything happened, or or is it because we started to see in the early 70s, late 60s, a group of people, a a generation that no longer believed in patriotic duty?
Oh, for sure.
Is it because we saw a group of a generation that no longer believed in following the status quo? And so the 60s, the people who were in charge in the 50s and 60s said, I got you. I'm going to turn everyone into those people so that they continue to follow and work at our General Motors and work at our plants. And we're going to make you so stupid you can't even figure out how to do next level math, or you can't
Yep.
even figure out how to create something new. Because honestly, I would argue that we haven't created something new in the last, I don't know.
40 years.
There's nothing that I've seen that's just been like, yeah, land breaking, ground breaking, just can't believe it happened type deal. I just don't see where we've done anything over the last 40, 50 years that we hadn't already figured out
Right.
years before.
I believe it.
And so, and I'm just, I haven't really, pushed it out any farther than that. But is that I mean that feels like what they've done. They've Sorry, I'm getting my camera back on here. But it feels like, we aren't the smartest people in the world. We're not, we as as a generation, even, you know, if we haven't created anything all of a sudden, why is that? Is it because we're not being taught? Is it because because I've said over the last, I don't know, 20 years that critical thinking isn't something anymore.
Correct.
Situational awareness isn't something anyone teaches anymore. I mean, people literally stand in the middle of the aisle and then look at you like you're the idiot for wanting to go around them at the grocery store.
Yeah.
They literally stand, they literally drive their car down the center and then look at you like the idiot that you wanted to be part, you wanted them to share the aisle in a parking lot.
Hmm.
I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a social engineer to go to Walmart and realize people don't even realize that they're parking 3 cars deep,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
or they don't even care. Like, and I thought, and during a snowstorm, fine. You know, cars get parked in different spots. There's a snow pile. There, just things get a little out of whack. Whatever. But this isn't during a snowstorm. This is like 98 degrees outside.
Mm.
Puppies and things are dying in cars because they leave them there. I
Yeah.
mean, we can't even get our live animals or children out of the car. These people would have been weeded out in the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah, natural selection.
And I'm not saying that to be like mean or anything, but
I'll say it.
there should be some level of ineptitude, like some level of ineptitude should wean you out of society. I mean, it should, it's just not
It's reverse Darwinism. It's the
right.
survival of the most idiotic.
Right. So, but as I guess back to Assange. what does he have? I mean, he's got to have something on somebody, and it's got
He
to be
is.
something good because obviously Trump wasn't willing to do anything about it. Because so he didn't have anything on Trump. It's got to be something more personal to somebody, and I would say it's almost got to be somebody like the Clintons because he's got he's got those emails, and
Yeah.
they're half running, like their group is running things anyways. That Biden isn't running anything.
Right. It's their
He's
conglomerate.
just like they're like, well, if you weren't so
He's
stupid, we'd make you president again, but you're almost so stupid we can't make you a president a second time.
We're running out of ice cream.
Right. Right. We no longer have enough cocaine and
He keeps dropping all the ice cream, and I'm thinking that's got to stop.
so so somebody's overly pissed. Why? I don't know. But so anyway, this guy who has literally and then like what's funny to me is they did have some like rape charges and stuff, looming against him. He's always said that it was the US government just trying to make sure that that Ecuador did extradite him. I can believe that.
Sure.
I can 100% believe but so they did the hearing took place. Did you see where the hearing took place?
Where was that?
Northern Mariana Islands in on it's an American territory in the Pacific Ocean, not the Pacific Ocean, but the Pacific. And basically, they did it because they didn't want the Navy SEALs to come in and swoop him off to Gitmo, even though that's shut down. That's shut down. Don't worry
Hmm.
about that. It's shut down.
I feel safer.
Um, and he's free now. He's out of London. He's out of prison in the UK. So they were, he's on his way back to Australia. So we made sure that just make sure to accommodate him as best as possible.
Well, sure.
So
He's got to feel good.
the Joe Biden, the U.S. President Joe Biden, not one of the other random Joe Bidens out there,
Not Jim Carrey.
had previously said that he would consider a formal request to drop the charges. So,
Now, why would he do something like that?
um, because he has no clue, because he doesn't know who Assange is, because he doesn't care about our country or the fact that we do have things classified for a reason.
Yeah, all four of those.
Except for when it's in Trump's locked, you know, home or in his locked office or in his locked safe or in his whatever wherever else that was locked. Um but yeah, this guy that puts our information out on the interwebs for everyone to see, this guy's cool. He's just he's just stealing from the rich, giving to the poor.
Yeah. Thanks, WikiLeaks.
Thanks, WikiLeaks, for all you've done for us. So, I kind of wonder, like, I mean, they said the terms of his release or his time served, because they gave him 62 months, which they're saying he gets time served for the 5 years in a London prison. He gets the 5 years, like that's time served. He was facing 175 years, not 62 months.
Yeah.
He's also been a little sick. He probably had COVID. Um, but you know, so yeah. Assange's wife Stella suggests a breakthrough was finally reached after the UK High Court began to consider her husband's constitutional protections under the freedom of press.
Oh,
Now, he is he was a publisher. I don't know whether he was a credentialed member of the press. Um, at the same time, you know, he did benefit off of, you know, leaking these. Not to the point of like espionage probably, but you know, he did benefit. He did have a, you know, advertisers and things of that nature with his page. I mean that, but
yeah. Huh.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Says that over the since 2006, which is 18 years, he has published more than 10,000 documents on all manners of topics. It is currently led by an Icelandic journalist, Kristen Hrafnsson, something. Um, so, as well as the Iraq and Afghanistan war revelations, it published leak of documents from Sony Pictures in 2015, and it disclosed hacked emails from the account of Hillary Clinton, which I'm almost surprised that he's even still alive.
Well, for sure, especially since she
Clinton's
had
campaign boss, John Podesta,
Hillary.
in a run-up to the 2016 U.S. presidential election.
I heard that was a good.
So, I mean, other than the fact that he was holed up in an Ecuadorian London, whatever that was,
Embassy suite.
embassy, yeah, embassy suites.
Was it really a prison or was it just like a room with a couch?
I think it was an embassy suites actually. Now that I said something, um, yeah.
Almost wants me to be committed for grand larceny.
So, yeah. So basically, he pled guilty to one charge under the deal
Ooh.
after fighting against extradition to the U.S. for 15 years.
Time served, huh?
Good job. Time served.
Man,
Yeah.
how come I can't get a good deal like that?
Right. You got Biden almost getting out of federal charges. Finally, the judge reads the charges. He's like, "What did he do?" Luckily, he came to his senses and did something. But
Was it the cha-cha?
it was the cha-cha, like a sissy girl.
Mm-hmm. I like
Israel is going to make a military shakeup. Israel's military must begin drafting ultra-Orthodox Jewish men. The country's Supreme Court unanimously ruled yesterday in a decision that has potential ramifications for the Prime Minister.
Are they they're a republic or a democracy?
I don't know. Probably a republic.
Yeah.
Since Israel's founding, the ultra-Orthodox Jewish, which was in 1948, ultra-Orthodox Jewish citizens have been exempt from compulsory military service required from the country's secular Jewish majority, which is now both men and women. So at least they're gender equal. Ultra Orthodox Jewish citizens account for roughly 13%, so that's going to help them out. So about 1 million more people will be going to the military for 2 years. Best way to recruit ever.
The draft.
Just add another huge sect of people that you haven't been adding. Just right in.
Yeah. I feel like that was a missed sales opportunity.
Yeah. Said the military exemption for religious scholars had no legal basis after relating laws either expired or that were struck down.
What's the
The
age
nine
limit?
judge, what's that?
What's the age limit? The maximum age limit?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like 35 or 38 or something like that. I'd have
Like
to
a
look
normal
up
number.
Israel's military age limit.
They're not recruiting like old bearded guys that are like in
No,
their
I
set.
mean it'll be there will be some like long, things, but long curls of hair, but it'll be younger.
Yeah, what are those called?
You can't ask me more than one question at a time on this thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Obviously, the two most important questions right there.
Orthodox, yeah. Age limit for the Israeli army is 34
Ah,
for conscription. Um, you can be in the military service wise from 17 to 49. Yep. They have about 60,000 males and about 60,000 females right now annually that reach age. So they add
I
about
would
60,000. Yeah.
wouldn't mind. I would join theirs.
I mean, it's one of those deals where like you want to join the reason we can't recruit now is because you're not sure that we are 100% the best military in the world anymore. It was easy to recruit back,
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems like it was easier to recruit back in the day because yeah, maybe we didn't get all the numbers we needed, but we were one of the largest militaries.
yeah,
You always knew we had the most powerful weapons, and you knew that if we went to war, we were going to fight. I mean, we were going to fight like we were,
yeah.
Confederate soldiers.
We definitely had the
Look,
best commercials.
I mean, look at be all you can be. Army of One. Army of One was when I feel like it took a turn for the worst.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
now you just you just singularly like, I'm gonna be by myself. I'm not fighting with anyone else. You're just gonna
Yeah.
set me up there.
And you get a clunky M16. Good luck.
You're gonna give me the same gun they were shooting like 60 years ago. We couldn't have like upgraded this any. Yeah,
It's good times.
right.
Anyway, I digress.
The Orthodox curls is named a payot.
A payout.
Just so you know. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Payot. Payot.
Payout.
Yeah.
I like it.
I guess it's an injunction against shaving the sides of one's head. So, based on an interpretation of the Tanakh's injunction. So yeah,
Well, I definitely shaved the side of my head.
Yeah, I definitely am not Orthodox in any way to the
Oops.
Jewish community. I'm a solid bald, loving the
American.
stay working the bald community side of things.
Yeah. You do a great job.
Yeah, I'm standing up for my people.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the one. Here's the thing. Here's the article of the week. A Chinese spacecraft successfully returned roughly 5 pounds of rocks mined from the far side of the moon.
China.
China.
I love them.
Yeah. Came back to Earth yesterday.
Hmm.
This is according to the China National Space Administration, who also lost a balloon, a weather balloon,
Right.
across the U.S. somehow accidentally
Mm-hmm.
for 7 days while everybody goes, I got a BB gun. Can I just shoot it down?
Yeah. We watched it on NORAD the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know why China couldn't do that.
I don't know why why China couldn't do. Yeah, China did do that. They were the NORAD going across that you were watching.
Uh, I mostly blame Canada for that.
Yeah, meanwhile as well. They're gonna they're pretty much going to just, cancel you out anyhow. So
They're the new hip, younger, sleeker version of China.
they kind of I look at them more as the older, more seeker sensitive version of China.
Yeah.
Like they've been around a while. Maybe not as long as China, but they seem like they're just not as mobile. They don't have the workforce that China does, but they're definitely going to filter you out if you don't say everything nice.
They don't
If you're
make
not
Nike in Canada?
seeker sense, no, they definitely don't.
Oh.
Yeah, and really, no, I don't know that a ton of people. I mean, other than all of the liberals that said they were going to Canada, which I don't know why they didn't say they were going to Mexico. It's much easier to get to Mexico.
Oh, yeah. They'll pay you to go.
But yeah, they're going to Canada after Trump was elected. I didn't see any of them go.
Yeah. Hope they're doing okay up there.
Hope they are. Eh?
Yeah.
Maple, eh? So anyhow, China says they went to the other side of the moon, the far side of the moon, you know, while mining some moon rocks. Then an asteroid started coming. They had to go onto the asteroid, blow it up. Bruce Willis was there.
Mm-hmm.
Aerosmith sang a song.
Mm-hmm.
All of that good stuff.
How's Ben Affleck doing?
Ah, I don't think it worked out. Don't think it worked out.
I think him and J-Lo split, which is really sad to hear.
Yeah.
Wait, who is he dating in that movie? Oh, Liv Tyler. Yeah,
Liv
that's right.
Tyler, yeah. So,
Get off the nuclear warhead.
get off. Uh,
I'm with
who
those
was
guys, though,
that?
because they said they don't want to pay taxes ever again. And I'm like,
Right.
I like that.
Ever again.
I can get behind that.
The real question is were they listening to Pink Floyd while they did all this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. If you're Chinese, though,
No.
can you understand it? Or did they translate the Pink Floyd album into
Mandarin.
whatever? Wen Ching Cha Chun. Oh, that was probably racist. I'm sorry, China. Maybe.
Hey, I'm not. Come get me.
They launched the spacecraft on May 3rd. The spacecraft spent several weeks in lunar orbit before descending on the South Pole, at Aitken Basin, the solar system's oldest known impact crater, where it harvested rocks and dust. The mission operations used two previously deployed orbiting satellites to communicate with the lander. So this is not a manned mission. A
Mm-hmm.
mechanical rover snapped a photo of the
Mm-hmm.
vehicle on the surface before the sample was launched back into orbit, precisely back to where China wanted to catch it, and landed on Earth.
Good. Good.
We can't find the data, the schematic data
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
for our
Mm-hmm.
lunar space walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep going.
Yet China, the country who lost a weather balloon,
Mm-hmm.
a piece of plastic
Hmm.
or latex, or a mix of latex and whatever, filled
Hmm.
with air that they attached diodes and things, or
Sure.
nothing. I mean, it
Sure.
depends on what level of news you listen to, and lost it somehow over Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And then we gave them the bone and let it go over Montana, parts of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Then we said, yeah, let's kick it a few. And we let it just float over the US, picking
Yeah.
up whatever signals, 5G, whatever signals that you want. Now, I don't know. I was telling somebody about this over vacation. Um, but those 5G signals that are supposed to be so secure are honestly AM radio waves.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know anything about AM radio waves, but they do kind of bleed across the country at night.
Amplitude modulated.
Super easy to pick up. I listened to a World Series in 93, 94 because of it out of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So our 5G system that we're just basically just regurgitating everywhere. You don't like you don't think that maybe that system could be picked up?
Definitely not by the Chinese. They would never do that.
No, that weather balloon was inept. They have no technology like us. They couldn't have faked a lunar landing like we did,
Yeah.
or shot a rocket to the moon. We're the only country that's good enough to do anything,
Yeah.
and we've been that way for the last 100 years, and we haven't done anything to be any better because we don't
I didn't
need to.
realize. I didn't
Because we're so
realize there
much
was.
better than everyone. You didn't realize what?
I didn't realize there were other countries on this earth. I thought it was just us and second place.
It's yeah. I mean, we're the only one blessed by God.
Mm-hmm.
God loves
That's
us
just
better
accurate fact.
because We're in the Bible.
Yep. That's a scientific fact. Jesus loves us the most.
The most. Because he plays favorites. Because we're alive today.
Uh,
That's why he
the
gave us
fallacies
guns.
of the American ego. I love it.
That's why he gave us guns. And said, prosper. Yeah. That's it.
He said, I think the 11th commandment was, thou shalt own 7.62 rounds.
That's it. Lots of them. It's in the amendment somewhere.
It's somewhere in there.
Something about buying arms, having arms, bear arms. Something like that. Really good gloves. I don't know.
Good pair of boxing gloves.
we didn't even talk about how the First Amendment doesn't protect against espionage, but whatever. somehow we're in the Fourth Amendment on the moon landing. But so Chinese international scholars, this is just to like, let's humor them that they actually did get moon rocks. And it's not just somebody's like cleaned out their fireplace and threw some limestone or something.
Yeah.
But the Chinese scholars expect the samples to shed light on the distinct geochemical makeup of the moon's cratered far side, which lacks the vast volcanic deposits covering the other side.
Oh.
Okay.
So now
Like
there was volcanoes on the moon?
there's volcanoes and obviously the moon has been struck by things.
And now they're theorizing that the Sea of Tranquility was actually one time covered in water.
I mean, I figure that that's what they feel. I mean, I do think that, when God created the earth, he had to, make some holes. And so there's the moon and there's the sun. And here's all these pieces of stuff created. And this is where
Yeah.
it's made. And, all this stuff. I mean, all of it came from somewhere or nothing. He stood on the word and he spoke the word,
Yep.
created the earth. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just like you heard earlier this week. I just don't believe it.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that. And if they are, we should be really worried. Like if they did make it to the moon, because we can't even get a rocket to fire and go up into space. We've neutered our private sector so badly that they don't create things anymore.
Yeah, we
Like think
taped over
about this.
the telemetry data on a Packers game.
Sure we did. We But think about this though. At one point, NASA was not part of our governmental system.
It's still a private institution.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
But they had at one point they had scientists working for them that were inventing crap like Velcro, like
Yeah. And Tempur-Pedic mattresses.
rockets, rockets that could shoot you thousands of miles an hour up into space,
Yeah.
and things of that nature. Like, I mean, I do believe that people have orbited around the Earth.
Sure.
Now, the fact that everyone that's been to the moon has kind of gone crazy, there's kind of I don't think it was the moon atmosphere that made them go crazy. I think it's
Nope.
the secretivism,
Yeah.
whatever. The
I
secret
mean,
sauce
if
that
you
they've
really
had to
want to
hold
scratch
on
your
to.
head, look up Buzz Aldrin. Look up Buzz Aldrin videos, and that'll
Buzz
make your head
Aldrin,
scratch.
he is one of those dudes.
Hmm. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We didn't go to the moon. No, we didn't. Look them up.
Right. And the dude was supposed to be on the moon second.
Number two.
Somehow they took a picture of Neil Armstrong coming out of the space lunar landing.
Mhm.
And then Buzz Aldrin came out second. Then they hit a golf ball.
So they can refute the whole camera thing because they say it was exteriorly mounted on the arm of the apparatus. Okay, I'll give you that one.
How far did it have to stick out to get that shot though?
To get that shot, they'd have to be like 12 to 14 feet out.
Hmm.
But I'll humor them and I'll give them that for now. The
Yeah.
one that really gets me is the fact that they filmed the lunar module that had already landed on the moon. They filmed it going back up to the shuttle with an
Yeah.
obvious pan tilt of the camera going up, panning
Yeah.
up.
With that arm, the same arm,
Same arm. Yeah.
same
Or
arm.
did you leave a
Because
guy on the moon to film that and we just send him rations every week? Like,
uh, I, it's the man on the moon. We
yeah,
handed him the camera.
yeah,
He gets the camera. He holds it, and he just now the camera's broken, and he can't send us back photos anymore.
yeah. Go look.
His
I mean, go look.
Wi-Fi,
It's all
his
out there.
wireless connection is he can't afford it. We don't send him enough money.
Yep. He's still on AOL, American Dial Up.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I can't with these clowns, dude.
You just yeah.
They lose me with their own science. They literally handicap themselves with their own science. So I don't even want to hear from NASA. Like I'm good.
Right. What was the other? Yeah. I that this is definitely yeah, this like and that's why I said like if they did go to the moon for real, it doesn't matter if we did or didn't go to the moon.
Right.
We can't right now go to the moon.
Right.
We're still shooting for like 2026 or something like that, or 2028 for the next time that we could, we'd have enough transfurion build up to go to the
Yeah.
moon or whatever it is
I know.
we're doing with our
Dilithium
lives.
crystal. Yeah. You're thinking about dilithium crystals from Star Trek.
Right, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyhow, once we get the vibranium set up to, then we'll have the most powerful space force a man has ever seen.
I got nothing to
Um,
prove to anyone, but go look up Hillary Clinton's speech about how we haven't made it through the barrier yet and we're still sending rockets up there. I mean, she's quoted on record saying that they're still trying to break through the barrier up there. I'm like, okay. I mean, even Obama said it in some of his speeches, and he was one of the most prolific speakers of all time. I mean, he go look him up. It's on Google. You can go Google that. It's all out there. They keep
what's
mentioning
sad
time and
though,
time again about how they're trying to break through the barrier.
right?
What barrier?
I thought it was infinite space.
Yeah, I thought it was infinite space.
What what gets me though is and how they can keep people is that there's such a level of question to that. I mean, even if you're an intelligent person and you weigh that, you can create a video that anybody says anything with a deep fake.
Yeah,
You can create a video where with a little bit of technology and enough equipment that you can get anyone to look almost seamless into, like, I mean, I don't have very much technology at all, and I'm not sitting in a room with a brick wall that has a flag on the back of it with a snake on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are sitting in a room with some squishies in the back.
Yeah. Squishmallows.
But squishamallows.
This is Danny.
I like his bow tie. So, but anyhow, like, so even if I go to a video that says, that one of those people says that, there's still level of questioning that I can say, well, maybe that's not a real video. Maybe
Right.
that's a dubbed video or a fake, or, there's people out there, that are really good at seamlessly making audio say whatever they want it to say
Mm-hmm.
without having to do a bunch of AI work. Putting together people's voices and words and the way that they speak in different speeches. So I understand that some of that could be a fake to prove, but you look at the history. Galileo was pretty much laughed out of science when he said, the Earth was round, or when he said the different things about the solar system. And then all of a sudden, he was right.
Yep.
Why?
I don't ask people. I do not speak to people about these what people call conspiracy theories to prove anything to them. I just ask them to do their own little bit of research, because I don't get on these platforms and start saying like, "Hey, here's the facts. Boom, boom, boom. Here, boom. Fact 1, fact 2, fact 3. Boom. You're converted." Nope. You know
Well,
what? I'll give you a little bit of info, but you know what? I want you to do the research and discover it for yourself. And that's all I can do, because it's the same way I approach the gospel of Jesus. It's like, you know what? I can teach you and show you, and then it's up to you. So
yeah,
you make that
and that's how it is I mean, like, you're just not gonna believe it because someone says it to you.
right.
And that's with anything. I mean, there has to be some level of proof, or there has to be something that lifts your burden of proof on it.
Lifts your
So
level of
it like
satisfaction.
yeah, like you said, with the gospel, you're not going to be convinced with, you know smooth talking, or, you know
Yeah.
bold statements of men's wisdom.
Right.
You're just not going to be, convinced by that. It's in the gospel, it's because you've been drawn by the Holy Ghost. And with this, it's because, it's lifted your burden of proof. And what does it matter in the long run?
Yep.
It doesn't. You know,
I mean,
if 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 you're a Bible believing Christian, if you've accepted Christ as your Savior, in the long run, does it make me smarter or better that I know or don't know whether the Earth is flat? No.
correct.
Is it?
It
Does it
doesn't
make
matter.
me smarter or better whether I know if the U.S. ever landed a man on the moon? No.
Correct.
The only you know the only the only word of knowledge that honestly, in the long run, really matters is that you know that Christ died for your sins,
Because
and that
this
you
is a very deep rabbit hole you could go down,
right.
and I'm willing to dive with people who want to dive with me, but if you're not willing, then I'm hands off. I will be snorkeling up at 30 feet, and that's where I'll be. You
and
know,
and and in it, I you know I've I can't say that I've gone down the rabbit hole of, you know, is the earth flat? But just my understanding of things, I'm my understanding can go to the point of that there is some lying being done.
Yeah.
Whether it's flat or conical shaped or it's round but it's actually the center of the universe, whatever the conspiracy is,
Yeah.
I'm open to hearing it
Yeah.
because for one, you don't do critical thinking. You don't actually, make up thoughts for yourself if you don't hear both sides of the story.
Right.
And we're not here to like just, throw liberals out with the bathwater and just say no, you're wrong 100%, because in all honesty, anything that a lot of the things that liberals believe in, or you're not stupid, crazy, off the deep end, want to kill your babies, the liberals believe in, is 100% humanitarian and
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe that you give the power to the government to decide those things.
Right.
I believe that somebody in private life that has decided that their life's mission is to feed the hungry or make sure that you have something backing you up, you know, in the physical side of things, whether it's insurance or it's some kind, and you pay them every so often to save your money for you or something. I would much rather be paying somebody that has a skin in the game than
Mm.
just a government that's trying to buy your votes out.
Yep.
That's like saying to the guy, the homeless guy down the street, here's $5, keep it for me for the next 6 months, and I'll come back to get it.
Part of the reason I do deep dive in my own personal time and my own studies of this nomenclature of conspiracy theories is because I believe there is a principle that a lot of people are overlooking, and that is that you are not here by accident. You have everyone that is born has a purpose and a plan. And I think part of my deep diving into some of these uh, conspiracy theories are showing people that you're not just an accident. So, you have a plan, you have a purpose on your life, and some of this stuff is a cover up and they're trying to separate you from understanding that you are a creature of God. You are a child of God, and part of that is cover up. I think the government covers up a lot more than they should as it relates to you surrendering your will to an all powerful, all knowing, all loving God.
Yeah. And they do a ton with, if you're just one being in the universe of there's other sentient beings out there and multiple billions and quadrillions of universes, because if you believe that the universe goes on forever, then it doesn't end. It goes
Right.
on forever, and there's got to be, there's other universes, thousands, millions, unknown amount of universes out there. It's not that, like, if you can't just say, well, I believe in this, but I don't believe, no, this is it. You can't just say, oh, there's only like maybe 1,000 universes out there. Why?
It would be, if you believe that, it would be infinitesimal. It would be so far. I mean, your head would explode thinking about all the endless possibilities of redundancy,
Civilizations
civilizations, and then you get into causality and all that, and then you get into the all these theories that can't be proven. That a lot of these, what are they called? The scientists that study um, the micro versus the macro string theory. You get into string
Yeah.
theory and all this stuff, and it's like it gets crazy. And it's not that we can't understand string theory, because I actually understand string theory very well, but I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, if you take the time to study it, you can learn about these things. But it has nothing to do with God, so it's like pulling you away from your relationship with the Almighty. So, I mean, it's like a balance. Everything in my head, everything's a balance. So,
Well, and you have to see it for, what it is. Is it something that's causing you to question? And is that question then answered and put to bed by, you know, your beliefs?
right.
And if it causes you to question your beliefs and you can't rectify those questions, then it's causing you some sort of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like what we just said is, honestly, if you're a believer, you realize that God is not the author of confusion.
Right.
And so with that confusion, you can realize that maybe this isn't something that is of God. Maybe this is a confusion. This is something that the devil's put out there to make you question, because that's all he has to do. Is because,
Play
honestly,
it down.
in John 3:16, it doesn't just say that for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. It says that he gave his only son so that we can believe on him without fail.
Right. Not
Not
to
that we're
perish.
not going to fail at some time, but to get to heaven, we need to believe on it without fail.
Yep.
And so some of these things, and the government has done a great job, like you said, of hiding certain things so that obviously they get their agenda passed and they get their things done. But that little bit, they've taken a big course from the devil on this, is that little bit of idea of, well, could they be doing this? Did they maybe do this? Do they have the capability to do that? Like, you don't think that the same twins baby manipulation, you know, genetic modification that Germany was doing in World War II, that we weren't doing some form of that ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk to anybody that's been in World War II or in even in Vietnam. How many shots? How many different medications they took to go in, and they didn't tell them what it was.
Right.
They just signed a form that will give you whatever we feel makes you the best you,
Mm-hmm.
keeps you the healthiest. Yeah. So, Third Reich, Fourth Reich, Fifth Reich, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. First US, second US, third US,
Yeah.
generational US. It's all the same.
Yeah.
We're just trying to push our power, and the people in charge are trying to keep their power,
Yeah.
which is why they don't have term limits, which is why they don't, because they're
Absolute
not the
power. That's
figurehead.
absolutely
Right. And that's where you get is the president doesn't have that much power.
right.
We go every year, every time we get an election, oh, we're going to elect the leader of the free world. No. We're going to elect the guy that we say is the leader of the free world. You know
Yeah.
who's the leader of the free world? There's 360 some got people who sit in Congress
Yeah.
and make laws.
Yeah. Yeah. An executive order is not a law.
Right.
Just because he can write 312 executive orders in a day doesn't make him any better than the U.S. law.
And that's like saying, I think we should Abolish speed limits
Right.
because they make me go slow, and that makes me sad.
Right. Because I don't have progressive insurance.
Because because I feel like I can control my car at 118 miles an hour through whatever traffic they can throw at me. And honestly, if we were smart enough to realize, we wouldn't have to have speed limits like that. Think about this. If we all just took care of ourselves and did whatever we wanted to do ourselves, we could, we could really get, we would just control our own fate. There wouldn't have to be laws at all. Just don't kill anybody or be strong enough to protect yourself from being killed.
Yeah.
Just if you are able and you can physically do it, then drive 150 miles an hour as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else.
Ah, the Audubon.
Texas, wherever, Montana,
Yeah.
the street down just a mile away.
Right.
I'm just joking. I don't have a car that can go 150 miles an hour anymore. But which reminds me, one of these days you need to tell Carson my abilities with an S10 pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't believe it.
Oh, okay. Nope. I'll
Yeah.
hit him this on.
He thinks his V6 Mustang could put himself to the task against my S10s.
Oh, boy.
So
That must be a Mustang thing for those guys.
I think so. It's definitely
They're not
thing.
that fast.
I was in a 5.0 Mustang, and it took me something to actually fishtail it out to almost lose control.
Yeah, I remember.
So
Yeah, good times.
But
that's not a conspiracy theory.
Not a conspiracy theory. So I love the fact I looked up the top 10 conspiracy theories, and we're just gonna rapid fire through them. We're not gonna talk a ton about them, but one day we will sit down. Maybe we'll set it up for the 4th of July week. Maybe next week. We'll see if you can get on next week, and we'll see who else is on, and we'll just rapid fire through a bunch of them. And so number one was, and this is off of popular mechanics, so I feel like it's a little bit better of a conspiracy theory list.
A little more critique.
Yeah, more just vetted or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe popular mechanics has gone the way of the buffalo. Maybe they're Time Magazine type gone, and they're I don't know. But anyhow, I just have that feeling in my feeler that it's better. So number one was the moon landing was fake.
Yes.
So they say because the flag moving in the wind, no stars in the sky whatsoever, the malign shadows, these are all have been made in conspiracy theories, that Neil Armstrong did not take the first leap for mankind on the moon in '69. For years, conspiracy theories have argued that NASA. The photo that I see is 40 miles away from the moon lander, the moon, the lunar lander.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyhow,
so two things real quick on that one.
What's that?
Two things real quick on that one, on the moon lander.
Yeah.
Last year there was a TikToker that found the exact spot in Nevada, where they filmed the moon landing. So he has actual computer generated scientific proof overlays, grid overlays of where the ridges and the flow of the valley and all that all matches up. So It's
See,
on TikTok.
this is what
Must be
we
official.
need to like. We need just one episode to just like start knocking these out.
And then the other thing is, where did Stanley Kubrick come from? Because all of a sudden he had a star on the Walk of Fame, but he was an unknown independent. And I think George Lucas knows more than he's letting on, and he's my Star Wars guy, so love him. But I think he knows more than he is letting on. So anyway, just look up those two guys. And number 2.
I mean, MythBusters did say that it was plausible that they put a man on the moon.
Yeah.
Anyhow, number 2, the government killed JFK.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it.
He's just like, yep. I mean, what? Like, just
So-
on the face of things, we had to call something magic just to like cover how it went through his body and came out the other side.
It came from inside the car. The shot came from inside the car. They proved that.
Like, I just love that we just all like in time of mourning we're like, okay, it was magic, it's fine. It's just like it's magic that the airplane flies. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so we need Peyton. We need Peyton for JFK. I don't want to do JFK without Peyton. So we need to get him for that.
Okay.
But I will say he has an amazing theory on it, which I like. I'm willing to entertain other theories, but personally, I think it was the CIA because they also coined the term conspiracy theory. So 1963, that phrase did not exist before 1963. FYI. So it was coined to help the cover up of the JFK assassination.
All right. Number 3, COVID-19 was engineered by the media.
Largely, yes.
I really 100% feel like this was all a wag the dog.
Yeah.
Like, this is the movie Wag the Dog. COVID-19 was like the extension of Wag the Dog. Like, let's find something that we can blow up and make it vastly scary. What have the conspiracy theorists been saying for years? Oh, that if you man-made a virus, there's even a game. If you man-made a virus and made it a pandemic, the world would shut down.
Yeah.
And the internet or the media said, "Oh, we're powerful enough for this. Hold my beer."
Yeah, I think why were the funeral homes and the mortuaries not overflowing with bodies?
There's no mass graves. There's no mass graves.
Where are the mass graves?
They weren't.
Everyone was dying
walking.
from COVID.
No one was out there ringing the bells saying, "Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!"
Right.
You know, there was no guy that said, "I'm not dead yet."
Look at total death percentages, and they're not any more higher.
No.
Than any other year.
No more deaths than any other year that we had the flu.
Right. Comorbidities still kill people to this day. You can die. Guess what? You can die from cancer. Guess what? You can die from influenza A and B. And you know what? People died at the same rate.
Same rate.
It was a scam. It was, and I firmly believe the actual virus does not exist.
No,
I believe it exists on the TV.
They literally named the common cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they renamed the common cold.
That's it.
And then people died from having cancer or having an infection or having a flu.
You have saliva. You have saliva. You have dust in your saliva.
Yep.
Look, I popped.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
The second set of 2 weeks, they were like, this thing has a 98.7% survival rate.
Yeah.
Which is the same statistical of the influenza A. As long as you're not an infant or you have pre-existing conditions with your heart.
If you are an infant, you're going to survive from this.
Yeah.
It's just if you're not old and have a heart condition.
Right. Anyway, I'm over COVID. It's like so yesterday. Anyway, go ahead.
We're going to hit all these a little harder in another episode very soon. Number 4, Earth has been sucked into a black hole.
Okay.
European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, is... How is that CERN? CERN. Yeah, but it's the European Organization for Nuclear Research.
Yeah.
CERN. Okay. Is at the heart of a lot of crazy conspiracy theories, including people who believe that when CERN discovered the Higgs boson in 2012, they inadvertently created a black hole and Earth was sucked into it.
So if you believe in the macro,
these people think that the world ended 2012, but we haven't realized it yet. So we were sucked into this black hole. We are still in this black hole, which would also mean, just hear me out on this, would also mean that the sun and the moon are also in this black hole.
Which props up the flat Earth theory more than it props up the heliocentric model.
That's right.
So the geocentric model...
Otherwise, we would have noticed that the Earth, that the sun was no longer, there was no transmission of the sun.
I can't wait for the sun one. Oh, there's a Chinese sun out there. So if you go out tonight, I'm serious. I'm not even joking with you. I'm 100% serious. There's a theory that the Chinese have invented their own sun, and that our sun, our natural sun, has gone away, and now we have a Chinese made star in our dome.
You need to write all these down so that I can do a little research so that I don't come in here dumb. You need to send it to me.
I'll send it to you.
Send it to me so I can do a little bit of research on this, and we'll have a whole episode.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I just want to do the dumb one like that one. Because we could do JFK for hours. I mean, like, I just want to do some of these dumb ones. Like,
let's do a fringe next week. Next week we'll do a fringe conspiracy theory, like just the way out yonder conspiracy theories. You send me the list. I'll do a little research on them, and we'll rock and sock them robots. Disney created Frozen as a distraction.
Well, I could see that.
Disney created anything as a distraction. Even though the Disney family refutes the claims, people have long discussed the conspiracy that Walt Disney used cryogenic technology to freeze himself when he died. Even though that Disney family refutes the claims, however, a new theory is that Walt Disney Company created Frozen as a way to hack Google's research or search algorithm and distract consumers from information about the late Walt Disney's possible Frozen procedure. So they overloaded Google's algorithm so that they could That's super plausible.
I like it.
Interesting. Creative. Kind of like it.
Yeah. I bet you they made money on that.
The Denver International Airport is Illuminati's headquarters.
Yeah, so they tore down essentially a brand new airport.
You're so dumb. So they tore down what?
No, so the old Denver International was a perfectly good, normal, functioning airport. And they went ahead and built this other brand new, pristine airport.
Right.
And it's littered with catacombs of underground tunnels and all this stuff that connects into the... Oh, what's that base out there? Oh, shoot. What's that base out there? That Air Force base that's top secret out there.
In Colorado.
Yeah, I don't know. Right out there. Anyway, it connects to that Air Force base. It's all underground, and it's like the perfect because it's a mile high or whatever. It's you're safe from the radiation of a fall out, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's another good one we could hit on.
My actually my cousin was part of the architecture crew on the airport there,
Mm-hmm.
Colorado, in Denver. So the Earth is hollow.
Yeah, that's another one of the hack ones, I think. In my opinion, it's a hack because it suggests the Earth is an inverse. It's an inverted um, troposphere down there. Like there's
That really kills
dinosaurs
the whole
still.
gravity type deal.
Yeah,
If it's
so
hollow, there's nothing in there to be gravitational.
right, so they think because of the spinning Earth. So those folks think because the Earth spins that it creates its inverse gravitational effect on the inside. But they also have like dinosaurs down there and like some of the old majestic creatures like the Leviathan and the behemoths
So
and
we're
stuff.
now doing the travel to the center of the Earth.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
been a
just a bunch
long
of
running.
people. The bunch of people liked the movie and decided that they were going to. That they just thought that must be real.
Yeah, because they say that there's a whole bunch of holes all over the planet where you can just go in and you can fall, and then you just fall right out onto the other
Like
inverse.
isn't that like the movies deal too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Number 8. The world is flat. Jay Sizzle. Like I said, on this one, and I'll just take the diplomatic approach on it. There I don't know that I believe that it's flat, but I do believe that they are lying to us in some sort of way, and that there is more than meets the eye. Transformers, and that we are.
I'm gonna go do some push-ups.
Like I said, I just, that there is more to it than what we see. Definitely, there's more to it than what they're telling us. So I'm kind of open to, I don't know how you rectify flat Earth, where like you fly over Japan, other than the fact that I've seen where they say, oh, you're not really going that way, you're going the long way around, or this or that. So, I mean, it is a really long distance from like the Pacific Ocean is really big. Like I don't know that people realize like really like it's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
But where like the Atlantic Ocean is not so big. Like you can get across the Atlantic Ocean in like 4 hours on an airplane. So, I mean,
That's a
I
big
went
one.
over. I was in Germany in like 6 hours from JFK.
Like
So
for me, that should be a the flat Earth should be on its own episode.
yeah, yeah. I don't know that anyone would listen to us for an hour and a half on flat Earth, but maybe. Number 9, Prince Charles is a vampire. I think that's definitely one we should, and he's related to Vlad the Impaler, the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula, and many of the royals in Charles' bloodline were known to have the disease por porphyria. I don't know. I'll have to actually look that up. Which is an iron deficiency that causes people to be sensitive to sunlight. This is mine. 10. Bigfoot is real.
Yes, I love
I
it.
want so bad for Bigfoot to be real. Got no evidence, no proof. But wouldn't it be great?
It would be great.
All of a sudden, we prove that there's a 10-foot giant bear man grizzly primeval primate thing walking around in the 10 miles of woods that we don't actually explore.
I don't want to give too much away, but there is a website you can track official sightings. And I happen to know where you live, and I happen to know that there was an official Bigfoot sighting in your neighborhood.
Yes, it was probably me. I walk around naked a lot. Just kidding.
But like
Yeah,
Ohio
you're definitely
and
gonna have to shoot that to me so I can see.
parts of Indiana and parts of Michigan, and then are all Bigfoot
So
sightings.
we
And
used
then,
to, when I traveled, we used to watch that show that was like tracking Bigfoot or whatever, and they would give you like they had a group that was tracking Bigfoot,
mhm,
and then at the end, if you found actual scientific proof that there was a Bigfoot, you get $1 million.
yeah,
And it seemed like that when I was traveling, Sunday nights we would get to our hotel and it was about the time to turn it on. We'd turn it on and I would just sit there in front of the TV going, "Why aren't you using this? Why aren't you doing this? What are you doing this?" And they would never do what I would have done. I must be the smartest guy in that group. And there was never like they never came up with any proof. And I was just sitting there yelling at the TV. The
yeah.
guy I was with at the time, or the guy that I was traveling with, not that I was with a guy. The guy I was traveling with at the time was always like, "You stress me out. I can't watch these kind of shows with you." I don't know.
Oh,
Pretty
it's good
much,
stuff.
I can be hardcore on just about anything. So,
Absolutely.
oh, number 11, the Nazis had a secret base in Antarctica. Yeah,
Yeah, could we
I
we could do a
mean,
whole other one on Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Don't get me started.
Uh,
Uh, mm, don't get me started on Antarctica. Mm-mm.
uh, I yeah, I there are some things I believe about Hitler and the World War II that probably are a little more conspiracy theorists. So 12. We're all living in the Matrix. I could see it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I mean, don't ever offer me the pill. I just want to live in dumbness.
I just want to
I
know I'm
always
eating
do.
a.
I mean, I'm not actually eating anything. It's just ones and zeros. The moon isn't real. Is number 13.
Oh, so NASA says there's actually two moons. So you're going to want to Google that.
Okay. This they say that some people think the moon doesn't exist. This conspiracy theory has gained popular traction with flat earthers, and they think the moon is simply a projection.
Yes, there's a lot of people that think that the moon is just a reflection of the outer. Oh my lord, I can't get into this. I can tie it. I can tie it in. I can tie it. If we do Antarctica, I can tie it in.
Okay.
But basically, they're saying that it's like a flat projection screen, and you're basically seeing the land masses projected up onto a spherical projection screen.
Yeah. So 14 is Titanic didn't actually sink.
What was the other? There was the Titanic and the Britannica, right?
Yeah, the Lithuania.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah, it was
J.P.
the Brit.
Morgan.
That's right. It was the Britannica, and then they had the Lithuania,
There
something
was
like
three,
that. Yeah,
but some
that
people say the Titanic never set sail because J.P. Morgan Chase sunk his competitors on the Britannica.
hmm, they were just killed.
Yeah.
Oh, is the Olympic?
The Olympic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
including some of the spears, including it was another ocean liner, the Olympic, that crashed into the iceberg, not the Titanic. But one sad fact remains: the ship did sink, and there was people killed. Number 15, Apollo 17 wasn't the last moon mission. So we've got people that said we didn't go to the moon, and then people that said we didn't finish our moon.
Was that the last manned moon mission?
It was supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
But a movie about a fictional Apollo 18 came out, and now some believe that the mission was real and ended tragically when the astronauts had a run-in with aliens. All right. 16, zombies can raise from the dead.
That's the definition of a zombie.
I was going to say that is zombies. 17, Bill Gates is making fake snow. That's not even a conspiracy theory.
So is Perfect North.
Right. 18, the Betz mystery sphere is alien material.
Oh.
19, Amelia Earhart was eaten by crabs.
Okay.
Yeah, she was eventually... Amelia Earhart has been shrouded in mystery, obviously. While it's widely believed that she ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean, some think she landed by mistake on a deserted island and was eventually eaten by 3-foot coconut crabs.
Well,
20. The Loch Ness Monster lives in Scotland.
Yeah. Didn't they debunk that back in the 90s?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm holding out for the chupacabra, but I thought we debunked
Bigfoot. Oh, 21. 5G causes cancer and COVID-19.
I could see it.
22. A solar flare caused the Titanic to sink. First, it didn't sink. Now we got a solar flare that caused it to sink.
Yeah, now it's cooking.
23. The Black Knight satellite is an alien spacecraft.
Oh, yeah. The Carillion death rays, yeah. I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
While experts at NASA insist it's just space junk. 24. The sirens were responsible for shipwrecks.
Oh, like the mermaids? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
25. The planet X is home to a world-class Nibiru.
I mean, we've got all this telemetry on Planet X, but no one wants to do anything about Pluto.
Can't go to the moon. Queen Elizabeth the First was a man. It's 26. We really do need to do an episode on some of these, like, extended ones. 27. COVID-19 vaccine has a 5G chip inside of it. What would that 5G chip do? Track you? Is that what it's going to do?
Well, a lot of people think that the COVID vaccine has the proprietary technology in it. That way you can be government. You can be owned by the government. You'd become a GI. It would make you some sort of GMO, and then that, therefore, according to the patent licensing, that you would be the government's property.
I like that the theorists even began circulating a supposed diagram of the chip, which ended up being the electric circuit of a guitar pedal. Oh, that's what they tell you. So, if it's right now, if it's not for tracking or surveillance, they're not putting a chip in you.
All right.
28. Airplane exhaust trails are filled with chemicals.
Chemtrails. Love it. Let's go.
Didn't they like put out a thing saying that they've been cloud seeding with chemtrails for years now?
Yeah. They don't even
Didn't
deny it
government
anymore.
just like I was gonna say, didn't the government just put that out?
Yeah.
29. The abominable snowman lives in Asia. If there is a abominable snowman, there definitely has to be a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah. If Nepal has Yetis,
Yeah,
then Canada can have Sasquatch and we can have Bigfoot.
really, they're all the same thing. 30. Internet routers can lead to harmful 5G radiation.
Oh, that's just discouraging.
That's just normal. So those are the 30 big ones from popular mechanics. Next week, tune in because we're going to do a fringe episode of conspiracy theories. We're going to dive down a little deeper for about an hour, hour and a half. Jay Boots, what did you learn today?
That 5G is ruining America. And that China has a 10-to-1 army on us.
10 to 1 army. You learned that today. Not during this episode, but today in general. It's good. It's good. They really do. And I've always said, like, I don't know that they have 1 billion people anymore because they've been lying on their stuff. But, you know, even 800 million people, you know, they're at least 3 times the size of us almost. So,
Yeah.
and they don't care about their people. So they're just going to turn them all into military combatants and fight you like whatever. I mean, they may not fight you as well as the Japanese fight because they've lost 2 wars to the Japanese, but, you know.
Yeah, the Chinese don't fight with honor.
Too soon? Too soon? Too soon.
I'm trying to poke the bear.
The Chinese are pissed. So, yeah. Been a good one. Make sure you get out to whyimangry.com if you like this episode. Tell us why. Tell us how. Tell us who. If you got a conspiracy theory and you're listening to this still, good on you. Thank you for continuing to listen through an hour and a half of us figuring out what we were going to talk about this week. But if you have a conspiracy theory that you want to throw into the mix, send it to whyimangrypodcast at gmail.com.
Please send it.
Send it today. whyimangry.com. Get on there, get your merch, get your subscription set up so that you can get this ad-free and not tracked by any governmental society. If you believe that, don't listen to next week's episode. But if you want to find out stuff, or maybe just start to think a little bit beyond what you see in the news, tune in to next week. Next week. Next week.
Next week.
Next week. Remember to follow, like, and share the Why I'm Angry podcast across all social media platforms and anywhere you get your podcasts. The Why I'm Angry podcast ends now.